اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا.
The Islamic respect for water and the ingenuity of Muslim engineers enabled Islamic society to flourish in desert and semi-desert regions. At the height of the golden age of Islamic science during the 10th century, over 500,000 people lived in the largest Muslim cities, while only 10,000 people lived in the largest Western cities at that time. Muslim engineers studied and built on the water technologies of the Phoenicians, Romans, Greeks and Egyptians. They used an Egyptian device called the Nilometer to accurately measure the height of the Nile, and adopted the principles of Persian water systems in one of their most impressive engineering feats, the Qanat system. The Qanat was a sophisticated underground water supply system, punctuated at close intervals on the surface by wells. Its carefully calculated connections and inclinations ensured the effective flow and ongoing supply of water to entire cities. Keeping water underground also meant that evaporation was minimized in the harsh desert environment. Another water engineering device that Muslim engineers improved was the Noria wheel. This giant water wheel scooped up water from the river and poured it into a water supply system for agricultural and domestic use, as well as for fountains, drinking troughs and public bathhouses. Norias also turned giant grinding machines and water pumps. Water was also essential to service the Islamic emphasis on cleanliness, health and hygiene. Public baths or hammams played an important role in this regard. In larger cities, the hammams incorporated beautiful fountains, decorative pools, saunas and steam baths. In regions where rainfall was minimal, it was essential to store water for use over long periods of time. To achieve this, Muslim engineers used sophisticated land surveying methods and instruments to build long-lasting dams and reservoirs. 8 dams built in the 10th century along the Turia River in Spain still meet the irrigation needs of Valencia 10 centuries later, and a third of all dams built by Islamic engineers still stand today. The men responsible for these engineering marvels were some of the greatest minds of their time, and their contributions to engineering and society continue to be of benefit today. The 3 Banu Musa brothers, Abu Ja'far, Muhammad, Ahmed and Al-Hassan, were respected scholars from Baghdad's famous House of Wisdom in the 9th century. They wrote many influential books on mathematics, geometry and engineering. They were also great fountain makers and designed fountains that continuously changed their shape by employing devices such as worm gears and a clever hollow naval valve. The use of a worm gear and wheel to transmit motion from flowing water to a revolving pipe was a major technological advance in control systems engineering that was later used in automatic machines during the Industrial Revolution. Al-Jazari, born in 12th century Turkey, was an exceptional engineer who created many awe-inspiring automatic machines, which he documented in the Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices. One of these machines was a revolutionary pump system used to lift water for irrigation and drinking. Al-Jazari's pump employed cogwheels, copper pistons, suction and delivery pipes, a crankshaft and one-way clack valves, and was able to lift water to a height of 12 meters into a supply system. The pistons were driven by a water wheel, using cogs and a crankshaft to convert the circular motion of the wheel into the linear motion required to make the pistons function. The piston sucked water up into an outlet pipe and pumped it out into the supply system. Another fascinating invention of Al-Jazari's was the wudu machine. Wudu is the ritual of washing oneself before prayer. Al-Jazari designed a mobile wudu machine that could be brought before guests. It looked